Rex Infernus was released yesterday, was cheated upon yesterday as well, and the cutscene was leaked. But here's the thing, the Easter egg was completed today by real people, and the cutscene was released by YouTubers as well. Now, all I gotta say is, I'm okay with the cutscene. It's just, the storytelling for this game was not great. I mean, it's an improvement. It's an improvement of BO6, and that's what I'm matter about, but the thing is, I just feel like the story has fallen off after Vanguard, or specifically Cold War. Because we can kind of tell with both Vanguard Zombies and MWZ, the story was ripping apart, is what it felt like. But here's the thing, Vanguard Zombies at least told the story. The gameplay sucked ass in Vanguard, but the story in MWZ, it was alright. But I'll even say right now as well is that the gameplay in MWZ was fine, but when it came to BO6 and BO7, they improved a lot of things with the gameplay in both BO6 Zombies and BO7 Zombies, but they did not improve in the writing, which sucks. Because again, I feel like Treyarch's best structures now is the gameplay, the environment design, the art design, the level design, the gameplay design. Everything is perfect except the writing. And I just want to say this right now, is that this is not to harass the writers, but I think the writers need to go. They need to be fired and just not to work here anymore for many reasons alone. Because one, they are showing they do not care about making a story. They don't fucking care. And look, I'm gonna say it right now, Rex Infernus' ending is better than Reckoning's, but here's the thing, they retcon a lot of stuff from Cold War up to BO6. They retconned a lot of things, if I'm being honest. And it just sucks that, honestly, if I'm being truthful, the story has been kind of sucking. Like, it's been going down the shitter and the drain because of writers that don't care about their story. Now, I will say Ash's, Totenreich, and Kawakujo had one of the best storytelling in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think Astra had good storytelling too, as well. But here's the thing. The only thing that really kept me alive with this story was some of the intel audio logs and some of the dialogues the characters say. That's the only thing that really kept me activated to be part of the story, was the characters, the development of the characters, and a bit of the audio logs. Now, I will admit as well, I think if Treyarch's gonna go back to making intel again, they have to do a banner and not do what they did with MWZ, BO6, and BO7 Zombies. Because again, what they did was fucked up, wrong, and just ungrateful. Now, look, I'm not saying that everything is really, dead or it's the end of the world. I am not saying that. I'm just saying I want better writing, is what I'm saying, because I am fed up with the bullshit I have to deal with in this community and the story writing for not making sense and retconning a lot of shit that really needs to be explained and not retconned. Now look, I'm gonna be even honest with you as well. The one person I think needs to be blamed for is Dan Lufer. Dan Lufer, who actually has been the associate narrative director since BO6. He was probably the reason why the story has been ruined since probably MWZ and probably BO6, because again, around BO6 and BO7, he took over as the narrative director for Zombies. And you know what's crazy is that I feel bad for Joseph Perluski and his writing team specifically, because they probably had ideas of what they wanted BO6 Zombies like to be. For example, Liberty Falls. I have this theory that they originally planned to make Liberty Falls Outbreak, and that was the original idea of the mode. That was like probably the original idea, but the problem is that Joseph isn't there anymore. He works at DICE for the Battlefield 6, and it just sucks, you know? And can I even be honest as well, is that the way that the new writers wrote BO6 and BO7, and including MWZ, it just feels like a disrespect to Joseph and his team's original work. Yes, I can understand MWZ's story because it makes sense. Yes, this is kind of where the cracks began to show with the storytelling, which was MWZ. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked MWZ's story over BO6 and BO7's, but here's the thing. I feel like the way that this is, I'm not happy with this mode, you know? I'm not happy with the story. I mean, I'm not happy with the mode story for the most, and it just sucks, you know? Because again, and hear me out, I feel like that, and this is just me, that I don't blame other people at Treyarch, but the writing team. This new writing team that took over Treyarch, or mainly the Zombies team, is a pile of shit, and doesn't understand writing, and doesn't understand a good storytelling, where it has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They don't understand that clearly, and again, I'm not trying to be like this, oh, I'm gonna hate on them, but as a Zombies fan who is a fan of the fucking story for years, it just upsets me, you know, because again, of how the story is treated. Like, look at Cold War, look at Vanguard Zombies. Their stories were great, but when you get to MWZ, BO6, and BO7, it just feels like they didn't care about the story at all and just made shit up. Which again, it does suck, you know? And I'll even admit right now, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward are not off the hook either from this. And even though Treyarch's new writers are the problem as well, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward are also the problem. For one, we have Sledgehammer, who didn't have enough time to make a third mode for their games, being Vanguard and MW23. So, guess what happened? Activision forced Treyarch to make a third mode, which led to Treyarch making Vanguard Zombies and Modern Warfare Zombies, which, don't get me wrong, their stories were great, but when we got to BO6 and BO7 stories, it felt like a fucking middle finger in your ass, pretty much, if that makes sense. And then we got Infinity Ward, who I do believe is the goddamn problem in this fucking Call of Duty series as a whole. Because, if I'm being honest, yeah, the writing team is way better than Sledgehammer and Treyarch's right now, but here's the thing, and this is just me saying it as well, is that MWZ exists because of them. Because originally DMZ was supposed to be for MW23, but got cancelled and scrapped for MW4 because of how incompetent Infinity Ward was, pretty much. So that's what happened, is that Sledgehammer didn't have enough time to make a third mode for MW23 and Vanguard, but for Modern Warfare Zombies to exist now is because of Infinity Ward not making DMZ for that game, Sledgehammer not having enough time to make the third mode, so it forced Treyarch to make Modern Warfare Zombies, pretty much. And that's how it is. And it sucks. And you know, even though I do love Zombies, and I'm still gonna come back to Zombies when the next game comes out, I just feel like I won't care for the story unless they prove to me that the story is improving and they are going to improve the story. But overall, I won't like Zombies anymore for the story. I will play the Easter eggs and I will play for the game and gameplay, because again, I enjoy Zombies and I enjoyed it for fun. I really have. I've enjoyed Modern Warfare Zombies, I've enjoyed Cold War Zombies, I've enjoyed every Zombies game gameplay wise, but story wise, it has been in shambles since after Vanguard Zombies. Modern Warfare Zombies was okay. But when they got to BO6 and BO7, that's where I fucking draw the line. And this is where I want to even say this right now. Treyarch, if you're listening, this is not me hating on you. I love you guys, and I really do appreciate you guys trying your best to make a zombies mode. But here's the thing. You need better writers. You need writers who fucking care for a story. That actually wants to make a story and improve on that story. Again, I don't want to hate on you. Because again, you're not the creators I want to hate. Or the game developers I want to hate. I actually love you guys very much. It's the problem of your writers not caring. And if you are watching this, take this as feedback and understand that all we want is a storyline that has good storytelling, good narratives, and actually good for what it is. If not, this is how people are going to leave the mode. It's because of how people are disgusted by what the writers have done to both BO6 and BO7 zombies. Again, I do not hate anything you guys do. I hate that you guys have writers that don't care. I don't care about the gameplay team. I don't care about the others because, again, they're doing an amazing job. It's just the writing team needs to improve. And I'll even say right now, they need to be fired and replaced by people who care. Because the way that it looks like, they're not caring for the story. All they're caring about is making money and making an awful story for a cash grab. That's it. But again, Treyarch, this is not me hating on you. This is me saying I want the story to improve. Okay? Okay. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am so sorry for this little rant, and I just wanted to make this a little rant video of how I feel about the cutscene. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. Peace.